Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here on Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update this channel daily. If you like this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we discuss one of the most heralded watches of 2018, certainly in the dive category. Few have met a warmer reception than the Oris Divers 65 Steel Bronze, 40 millimeters, principally in stainless steel. This one features a glorious bronze accent in a solid bronze metal bezel, a timepiece that does two-tone right. It's warm, accessible, nicely priced, and historically evocative all in one. And yes, it can pull duty as a light-duty diver. 40 millimeters on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. You can see this one wears easily. It's only 13 millimeters thick, which means it slides easily under even a dress shirt, and you can see just how much of that height is the domed plexiglass style Sapphire. You get the scratch resistance of Sapphire, but with the vintage off-axis distortion of the plexiglass from the watches that inspired this model. Divers 65 for a reason. That's 1965. Lug to lug, it's a very manageable case band. Only 48.2 millimeters lug to lug means I can recommend this watch in good conscience for wrists as slight as 13.5 centimeters in circumference. The spacing between the lugs is 20 millimeters, but give it a chance because this simulated rivet style vintage evocative steel bracelet is a handsome and secure piece. You can see that it probably evokes vintage Rolex bracelets more than anything else. This is called a skeuomorph. It's something that is in the image of something else, essentially a visual simulation, and it references the rivet bracelets of the 60s. Big gaps on the underside to avoid trapping heat, moisture, oil, grit, as well as avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. You can see that it is sized, once we get down to the true business end of the removable links, with pin sleeves. These are very secure against backing out, but you will want to size the watch once because they're not quite as manageable as screws. But again, Oris prices this watch right, and you get a substantial clasp rather than a clamshell. I'm very surprised. Here I find twin triggers. I expected a clamshell lock given the price point, but Oris surprises, going above and beyond and giving us 5 separate anchoring points for the bracelet. That allows you to fine-tune without actually removing a full link or a half link. And take note, there's a half link that's removable on both sides of the clasp for precise sizing. Jumping back to the case itself, it has one of the hallmarks of true mid-century divers, a very slim case profile that generally spans lug to lug. It's all of high polish, and it makes the watch visually even more elegant than its minimalist 13 millimeters would suggest. It looks far slimmer than that. You can see that there are a few well-chosen satin finished elements, the lug hoods, nicely blending with the bracelet itself and contrasting with the polish of the side. There is a character line that runs from flank to flank that is extremely sharp and helps to define the look of the watch. Vintage style, domed, Oris branded, oversized, polished steel crown, and we have a unidirectional bezel. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, improve the focus for a moment. Let's talk about this bezel. It is a true diving bezel. Though vintage evocative, it's unidirectional as a modern dive bezel should be. It can't accidentally extend your dive. There's an aluminum anodized insert that does have a luminescent pearl, so you can use this as the ultimate chronograph between 0 and 60 minutes. I happen to prefer dive bezels, even as a landlubber for timing things that are shorter than an hour's duration, but you can also use it in the dark. That's the advantage of the luminescent pearl. Every dive watch should have that. Sadly, every dive watch does not. The dial base is a gloss black, and it's dramatic because it almost appears to have a camber of its own thanks to the dramatic curvature of that sapphire. A no-nonsense white-on-black print for the dial so you can easily distinguish the date. And then the hands as well as the indices are a handsome bronze coloration to complement the bezel. They also pop against the base of the dial, and there is a simulated patina luminescence. This luminova grade is designed to evoke ecru tritium fades from the 1960s, but unlike those vintage fades, this one still glows brightly at night. And I'll add, it's actually a handsome color complement to the metal of the indices and the bezel. It's not strictly a nostalgia play. It does complement the colors of the watch. 100 meters water resistant, and underneath the Oris caseback, there is a Sellita SW201 automatic winding bidirectional 38-hour power reserve. It's a 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, water resistant down to 100 meters thanks to a screw down crown. It also features stop seconds and a quick set date, so you can easily and quickly set the watch with precision. You can see this one and make it yours on the Watchbox. And we're back with the Oris Divers 65 steel bronze. Absolutely no compromise in the luminous power of this watch, though it has vintage style patina. Nevertheless, this is a high grade of luminova and an even higher grade used for the critical indications of hours, minutes, seconds, and the pearl on the bezel. See it and make it yours by day on the Watchbox.